Once upon a time there was a tree farmer. On his farm he had every kind of tree that you could imagine. He had maples and pecan trees, beech trees, chestnuts and walnuts, peach, pear, apple, and plum. One day he walked out on his farm to look at all of his trees, and he noticed that the squirrels were causing damage. They were gnawing off the green tips of the branches, and, worst of all, they were eating his nuts. His hazelnuts, his pecans, his walnuts were all getting eaten by squirrels. He needed to do something to distract the squirrels from his nut trees. So he thought to himself, what can I do about a squirrel problem? And he decided that he needed an oak tree on his farm, because of all the trees that he had, he didn't have an oak tree. An oak tree would make acorns, which the squirrels could eat instead of his other nuts. So he went out and he got a seed, and he planted it right in the middle of his farm. And that oak tree grew. It started small, but it grew and it grew and it grew until it was as tall as all of the other trees. But then it kept growing. It grew and grew and grew until it shadowed all the other trees, and it was so large that none of the other trees were getting any sunlight, and they started to die. The tree farmer saw that he had a problem. He talked with his wife, but she didn't know a solution. He talked with his father, who had been a tree farmer before him, but he didn't know a solution. So the farmer decided to go on a journey. He went east, and he walked east for one day until he came upon a cat. It was a large orange tabby cat, and he asked the cat what he should do about his tree problem. The cat said, "Take this copper axe that I happen to have, and use it to cut down your oak tree." The farmer thanked the cat and went back to his farm, and, eager to cut down the oak tree, he went straight to it and started to hack away at it. But the axe crumpled like it was made out of tin, so the farmer decided that he needed a new solution. And this time he went to the west. As he walked west, he came upon an old woman, and he told her about his tree problem. The old woman said, "Take this salve and rub it all around the tree, and your tree will fall down." So the farmer went back to his farm, and he rubbed the salve all around the tree. Not noticing any immediate damage done to the tree, the farmer went to bed that night, and he got up early in the morning, eager to see what would happen. But when he got out to the oak tree, all he saw was a shaggy green ring of moss that grew up everywhere he had put the salve. The farmer decided to go on another journey. This time he went south. After about a half a day's journey, he came across a beaver, and he thought to himself, maybe this beaver could be useful. So he tied a rope around the beaver's neck and he led it home. Back at the tree farm, the farmer looked at the enormous oak, and he looked at the beaver, and he knew something needed to be done. The beaver was not big enough. Every day for 27 days, the farmer fed the beaver 9 quarts of butter from his best cow, and the beaver grew. He grew so large that he wasn't able to fit in the farmer's house anymore. He had to sleep outside. But the beaver didn't mind because he was a wild animal anyway. When the beaver was big enough, the farmer took him to the enormous oak tree. The beaver looked at the tree, and he chomped it down. The tree fell with a stupendous crash. Then the farmer thought about something he hadn't considered before. What would he do with the fallen tree? But he had no reason to worry, because the beaver dragged the tree away, far away. In fact, the beaver dragged the tree all the way to the ocean, where he built a dam. The dam was large enough to be seen from space and is still there to this day. The end.